The award winner tonight has, which you guys will see here in a little bit, has contributed significantly to all three of those legs of the Robert T. Gair Award. So I'd like to say, David Scheible, we greatly appreciate what you've done for us, what you've contributed to our industry, what we know you've done for the community, what you've done for your company. We just greatly appreciate it, and we want to honor you tonight. But before we get started in honoring that, I'd like to, we're going to have a few toasts.
Good evening. It's an honor to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity. On behalf of the BOPST organization worldwide, I would like to pass a wholehearted congratulations to the man who has led his organization in tremendous growth and success, to the man who has touched and influenced our whole industry for the better. Please join me in toasting Dave Scheible in earning this prestigious honor, the Robert Gair Award. Cheers. David? Okay, I do have a little bit more to say, though. However, these aren't my words, okay? As a past chair, Newth Morris indicates the following. I'd like, basically, oh, here we go, okay. I salute Dave Scheible of Graphic Packaging for his contributions and advancement to our industry. He has truly earned our highest honor, the Robert Gair Award. I wish David the best of luck in all future endeavors. So we get to drink again. Cheers.
Thank you, Doug, for those very kind words. We're very honored also tonight to have the 2011 Robert T. Gair Award winner, Jim Hodges, Royal Paper Box. Jim, could you join us?
David, I've reviewed some of the notes and whatnot on your accomplishments at Graphic Packaging over the past decade plus. It's just absolutely amazing what you've done there. And I own some of your stock. You've done good by me. And your support of Paperboard Packaging Council, the industry-wide efforts, your work with the American Forestry and Product Association, I mean, it's significant. You've really been a real blessing to our industry. I'm really impressed with your nonprofit endeavors in the greater Atlanta area. I understand you're involved with treatment center of cancer, education, the arts, and so on and so forth. And thank you for your contribution. And it's my pleasure just to congratulate you. I'd like to propose a toast.
Thank you very much, Jim. That was very touching. Appreciate it.
David Scheible knows business, but he's much more than a businessman. He's a leader who doubled the size of GPI, significantly improved profit margins, and refocused the overall brand. David's vision for a stronger, consistently successful business is constantly being reached and exceeded. Outside of the office, David is a true asset to the city of Atlanta as a member of many civic organizations, including the Rotary Club, the Chamber of Commerce, the Learn for Life Initiative, and the Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education. Clearly, David gives back to his community. He also has a solid track record of supporting our industry. He has been a true champion of the PPC and all of its programs, as is evidenced by the attendance of so many people from GPI. David is a man of the people. And David, you may not know it, but you're known as a rock star in the GPI plants. And I didn't come up with that. That's the description I heard from people in your plants. And you know, there's no better accolade for a leader this day. You've made your mark, so to speak, by actively representing GPI within our industry, to our customer base, and especially to government officials who impact this industry. He proactively advocates for sustainability and environmentally conscious practices. He's a true visionary and an innovator in the field of responsible papermaking. Unlike David, we've been told is known to use some creative language on the golf course. I'm just a messenger here. Some may call it a sailor's vocabulary. But we have no trouble finding the right words to express the many reasons that David deserves the Gair Award. David, for your outstanding leadership abilities, devotion to our industry, and commitment to society, we are proud to say we have all benefited from your success. Congratulations for your selection of this award, and thank you for all you have done for us. David, here's to you. One other comment, though he couldn't be with us tonight, the 1995 Gair Award recipient, Jack T. Langsfield, asked us to give his regards to David. He says, and I quote, "Congratulations, David. You are one of only a handful of recipients to ever receive the prestigious Robert T. Gair Award. It is truly a symbol of excellence and commitment, and I know that your fellow members are indeed proud of your achievements. Best wishes for the future." Thank you.
The first thing I'm going to do is we have a note from Mark Graham that I'd like to read to David first before I get into my little presentation. Congratulations, David, on receiving the Robert T. Gair Award. Your leadership has reshaped our industry and contributed to its continued success and sustainability in countless ways. Thank you for all you have done for the PPC, the paperboard packaging industry. Your body of work is certainly well deserving of this Lifetime Achievement Award. Congratulations to you and to your family. So that's from Mark Graham, wishes he could be here. This is not that long. Doug overestimated what I had said to him. David, I am so honored to have the opportunity to share a few thoughts and a toast to you in honor of your receiving the Robert Gair Award. As everyone has mentioned, your credentials and accomplishments are just incredible. But when I think of David Scheible, I don't necessarily think of those accomplishments first. I think of the leadership of such an important company, not only to me and my company, but to the entire industry. You have always been so supportive in building our relationship, and it has just made me feel the desire to continue to provide the highest value back to GPI. I think everybody here would agree that they have never left a meeting or conversation with you without some type of a long-lasting thought. I'm just letting everybody think about what those thoughts are before I continue. It could have been the feeling of a tune-up when required, or just the impact of hearing your views and feelings on any number of subjects. Always true to yourself, never holding back. Even in the simplest of situations, I would leave with long-lasting memories. I came to your office one day many years ago, and on your desk was a little button, and it had the Ghostbuster symbol with the slash across it. And it was just unbelievable. It said, "No surprises." I was like, it just took me that it could be so simple yet so important. I have that button on my desk. You might wonder where it is. It's on my desk. And I must have repeated that 1,000 times since that meeting, probably 8-10 years ago. Then in your speech last year, when you were describing somebody trying to explain away an unachieved goal in your company, and you would ask, "Is this story time?" Great stuff. I love that. I've also repeated that about 1,000 times. Congratulations on your being honored tonight for the Robert T. Gair Award. You couldn't achieve this unless you have avoided story time throughout your entire career. Good health. God bless you. Amen.
Very, very kind words from people that know David Scheible very well. As you can see, there's a lot of great thoughts, a lot of great memories. David, you've truly touched the industry, and we greatly appreciate it. What you've done for the Paperboard Packaging Council and the industry is just fantastic, so thank you so much. Ben, if you could join me on stage.
It's my honor in a moment to introduce the video, but first I'd like to thank our friends from Graphic Packaging for sponsoring the video, and I'd like to introduce the head table, who you may not have had a chance to see. Of course, there's David and his wife, Mary. We have our sponsors who you've met, Doug Herr, Mark Hishar, and Stuart Lurie. We have Mike Ucaprina, who is currently on our executive committee, senior vice president. Immediate past chair of PPC, Mr. Steve Scherger, who we have a few thoughts about in a moment. And then our good friend and keynote speaker at our fall meeting, Mr. Michael Das, a man who started as a shift supervisor, stayed with one company, and became president and CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And we couldn't be more proud of Mike as well. So it was about a year ago that David gave a talk to us. And it was, he was the highest rated speaker, as you might imagine, told a few anecdotes. And what was interesting was, and what we all should take away as a lesson, when we read the comments, one of the most poignant comments, at least to me, was someone wrote, "Now I understand why Steve Scherger decided to work for Graphic Packaging International." It's a tribute to Dave that someone like Steve would choose to work for them. So congratulations to all of you. It's wonderful. And now, my friends, a nice video about Dave Scheible. The Paperboard Packaging Council is proud to bestow our industry's highest honor for a lifetime achievement, the Robert T. Gair Award. Mr. Gair entered business in 1874 in Brooklyn, New York, as a paper merchant. The story goes that 5 years later, while printing some seed packets, he accidentally discovered a crease in the packet. Mr. Gair began experimenting with this, and his experimentation eventually led to the development of the reciprocating die cutter and the invention of the folding carton. He was awarded a patent for his work. Robert Gair's invention has had a significant impact on business, manufacturing, logistics, distribution, advertising, and the world is much better for his work. On a personal note, I'm very pleased that the board has decided that David Scheible deserves the Robert T. Gair Award.
The Paperboard Packaging Council has been in existence for over 88 years. The Robert T. Gair Award is our industry and our organization's highest accolade for outstanding accomplishments and performance over a lifetime's work in our industry. The Gair Award is only bestowed when an individual has demonstrated consistent and outstanding merit across 3 significant categories. These categories are: the individual must demonstrate outstanding performance of their primary leadership role in the manufacturing of paperboard packaging. The individual must demonstrate outstanding leadership in the betterment, promotion, and growth of our industry through participation in the Paperboard Packaging Council. The individual must demonstrate outstanding leadership in community service and participation in charitable and philanthropic efforts. This honor is bestowed by industry peers for excellence throughout a lifetime of effort, ability, and devotion.
As we all know, David's many accomplishments in the industry and in his life are remarkable. Tonight, we are pleased and proud to confer this recognition of outstanding achievement and leadership to David W. Scheible. Congratulations, David.
let's look back at some of his achievements over the years.
I recruited David in 1998 to head up Graphic's Flexible Packaging Division. During that search process, we made an acquisition of Universal Packaging and decided to get out of Flexible. While I saw great potential in David and wanted him to join Graphic, I had to tell him, your first job will be to sell your Flexible division. Then we'll find something for you to do in folding cartons. He took a big risk, successfully sold Flexible, and then became COO of Cartons about the time we acquired Fort James and became the first billion-dollar-sized carton company. David was critical to the integration of these acquisitions, the Riverwood merger and then the Altivity merger.
Under David's visionary leadership, GPI has undergone a true transformation in every way, culturally, operationally, financially, leaving a legacy of continued growth.
I remember being extremely impressed with David's leadership and vision for the company when I joined Graphic Packaging. The financial turnaround over the past several years has been incredibly significant, and I look forward to building on the strong foundation David has established.
When it came to the Altivity merger, David was laser focused on getting it right and ensuring that ultimately there was no legacy Altivity or Graphic, but one single, strong, focused company.
Thanks to David's relentless focus on integration, the acquisitions and divestitures accomplished during his tenure have made GPI stronger and more financially sound.
David has made clear that he expects great things from his people, even from thousands of miles away. Under his mentorship, we've really put the international into GPI.
Under David's leadership and direction, GPI developed several groundbreaking innovations, including MicroRite, TightPack, Z-Flute, and the biomass boiler at the Macon Mill.
David was behind the Macon Mill biomass project from inception to execution, pushing every step of the way to make it better. Without his enthusiasm and support, it would have been a much more difficult project.
David was a powerful supporter for innovation, constantly challenging our teams to think differently and come up with groundbreaking ideas.
David's visionary leadership has driven significant improvements in the paper and packaging industry over the years. In 2015, David was recognized as Paper Age magazine's Executive Papermaker of the Year and RISI's North American CEO of the Year.
His leadership, sharp wit, and dynamic spirit has transformed Graphic Packaging into a highly successful industry leader. Critical to this transformation are the company's core values: integrity, respect, accountability, relationships, and teamwork. Much of his and Graphic's success is based upon these core values.
From our very first conversations, whether it was about business strategy or playing chess and not checkers, I've learned a vast amount from David in a short period of time. His questions turn into lessons. It's really about making impactful moves and decisions that turn into action and not telling stories. It's a privilege to carry on Graphic Packaging's legacy, and David's lessons will be with us for a long, long time.
David is also a committed, involved community leader and a man of principle and compassion. He donates time, energy, and money to support community causes close to his heart. David is a member of the Atlanta Area Chamber of Commerce. He is also active on the board of the Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education and the Learn for Life initiative. He is a board member of the Cancer Treatment Centers of America and the Woodruff Art Center. With David's guidance, GPI now has a clear direction for philanthropy and community involvement across our facilities worldwide. Our ticket program has reached more than 60,000 children throughout the U.S.
David has been a substantial supporter of the Paperboard Packaging Council. He has fostered the participation of Graphic Packaging International in our association and ensured that Graphic's talented executives have served in key leadership positions, committees, and task forces. Under David's leadership, Graphic Packaging has contributed to the industry through PPC. David has been an active participant himself, as a keynote speaker at PPC conferences and has driven outstanding participation in the ticket program. David has also fostered a strong platform with the American Forest and Paper Association, serving as chairman of the board, improving membership, winning support for the checkoff program, and hosting events with elected officials and policymakers about industry priorities, educating policymakers, and stakeholders. So David, we thank you for your contributions to the Paperboard Packaging Council, to our industry, and to our nation and the world. You've accomplished much, and your peers recognize your outstanding efforts as 2016 recipient of the Robert T. Gair Award. On behalf of the Board of Directors and all the members of the Paperboard Packaging Council, we congratulate you, your wife and family, and all your colleagues at Graphic Packaging International.
So David, would you kindly join Kyle and me at the stage, please? So on behalf of the Board of Directors, the Executive Committee, and all the members of the Paperboard Packaging Council family, I present to you the 2016 Robert T. Gair Award winner, David W. Scheible.
Thanks. I'm going to do this without notes. I don't do well with notes. First of all, I'm going to thank Ben for the free dinner, because when you're retired, every dollar's a prisoner. So to get a free meal is really awesome. I thank the board for for a great recognition. You look at the people on that list. Many of them I know. One of them I work with in Atlanta, Brad Curry. And he sort of embodies what this award is about. So to the extent that this board recognized me, I couldn't be humbler. I want to thank the Graphic Packaging family that's here. We've got a lot of folks here. I hope somebody's running cartons, because I'm still a major shareholder. So I'm hoping stuff is being shipped around the globe as we send it. And I'm going to assume that that's the case. In fact, I know that's the case. You know how I know that's the case? Because my partner through this period of time has done an incredible job. Mike Doss has been with me really since 1999. He has had a variety of lousy roles, many of them, all of them, I put him into. And that's because I saw leadership in him, and he and Steve have formed a great team, and Graphic Packaging really is been successful because of the team we put together. You know, the quarterback gets a lot more credit and a lot more blame for when things go right and wrong, and it's really the team around them. Certainly Peyton Manning lived that this year, because he can't throw a thing more than 10 yards. So for sure that's a living example of that opportunity. You know, I want to thank my wife, because nobody gets to this place without family support. I've moved my family 6 or 7 times over this period of time, and some of those locations weren't some of them were Denver, that's really cool, but between Denver was Detroit and Cleveland twice. So all my daughters were born there, and I love Cleveland. It's a great place to live as a family, but when you come home to your wife and you say, "Jesus, sweetheart, we're moving to Detroit," she says, "Sounds like you said we're moving to Detroit." And we were in Cleveland. It was they were difficult. The fact that our daughters all turned out really well is, of course, to her credit, not necessarily mine. So I couldn't be here if it wasn't for that. As I sort of think about the packaging business, there's a story, and you've all heard this before. In the morning, the antelope wakes up on the Serengeti, right? He knows to survive, he has to outrun the fastest cheetah. Cheetah wakes up, knows he has to outrun the slowest antelope, right? It's like packaging. Every day when the sun comes up, everybody starts running. We're not really running a marathon here. In many ways, we run a series of sprints. It's because every single day in this industry, something changes. Those of you that have millennial kids know exactly what I'm talking about. Today it was yogurt, tomorrow it's Pop-Tart, then it's something else, and you're chasing those trends on a global basis, right? I mean, that's part of what really happens. Technology changes on a regular basis, and you have to stay up with it. The folks at my table are a perfect example of that. None of the presses that we're buying today look anything like the presses that we were running 20 years ago. But that's all really, important part of the industry. Even the customer set has changed. Look at all the global combinations, and you have to react to that. One day you think you have a contract, the next day somebody else owns the company and they can't spell your name given 3 letters and let them buy a vowel, right? And I understand, I've been out of the industry a while, but I understand there's a fair amount of consolidation that's going on as well. And so that can affect the competitive stream as well. So you put all that in, and somebody say, why would you want to be in that industry? That's a really difficult place to work. And you know what? That's absolutely true. I tell my daughters, that's why they call it work, sweetheart, because it can be difficult. Play was already taken, and so but what it does is it hones your skills, not just your operational skills. Of course, you have to run a business. Of course, you have to understand technology. You clearly have to understand consumer trends, right? That's all things that need to be done. But the biggest part of what you learn in this industry, I think, is you learn around leadership. Because if you're not leading in this business, you just will not survive. I like Maxwell's quote when he says, look, a leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. It's the third part of that I think is probably embodied in this award. That means each and every one of you have an obligation that as you learn and as you get experience, it's your obligation to pass it on to the next generation. That's what keeps the industry going. Do you know there are more jobs in the paper industry than are in automotive? But I got news for you. If you run into a problem and you think Obama's going to bail you out, I got news for you. Don't wait for that phone call. It is up to the industry leadership to be able to continue to drive the organizations forward. And that's exactly what we've done. When I talk to young people about this business, and we do all the time because we want them to come to work for Graphic Packaging, I'm saying, look, it's a great place to work. Your products are really cool. You'll make a lot of friends. And if you borrow $3 billion, you make an incredible amount of friends, as Graphic did. Of course, when they're not sure you're going to pay it back, they won't return your phone calls, but that's a totally different rat hole that we won't go down. You can make an absolutely great life in this industry. Of course, I close by saying, and guess what? Your life in this industry starts in West Monroe, Louisiana. Good luck and Godspeed down there, baby. That's just the nature of the business. So look, I really appreciate this recognition. Of course, my name is on the award, but we all know that the leadership team and the 14,000 employees at Graphic Packaging have more to do with this than I do. I wish every one of you the same kind of success that I have. I hope you enjoyed working in this industry as much as I did. And so I want to thank every one of you, especially the board, for this. Thank you very much.